Hello, it's day 106, and I want to talk about forbidden foods. Not specifically, so if you're expecting like a list of foods not to eat in order to be skinny, that's not what's going to be happening today. So as you know, I have been using MyFitnessPal this week. I have been calorie tracking. I've been calorie counting. And unfortunately, as somebody who doesn't really like calorie counting but who has done it a lot, I am seeing some patterns emerge that I saw last time when I was calorie counting. Back in the early 2010s, when I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, I used MyFitnessPal religiously. I was using it for, I'd say, about 10 months. I lost quite a bit of weight, but I also saw my life kind of decline, if that makes sense. I was calorie tracking in an almost obsessive way. It's a little bit hard to explain, but what I ended up doing was restricting myself down to only certain safe foods that I could eat. I managed to get down to about 201 pounds by doing this, but I was a crazy person during this time period, okay? To describe it plainly, I would not try any new food for fear of becoming addicted to it. So if I saw like a really delicious looking gooey brownie, I wouldn't go for it because I wouldn't even have a little bit of it because I would be afraid that I wouldn't be able to stop myself. So ultimately during that time, I wasn't addressing my underlying eating issues, I was just avoiding the issue entirely. I would wake up in those days and eat plain oatmeal. My lunch would be carrots and some kind of lunch meat every day, carrots and lunch meat. And my dinner would be some very small portion of whatever my family was having. I never branched out and did anything during that time. I never tried new things at the restaurant. I never walked down the street with my friends and said, hey, you guys want to stop in, and get some Starbucks or something. I was really closed in that time because in MyFitnessPal, it's easier to track things if you eat them often. The foods that you typically eat are on top of the list, so it's much easier to log those things. So it's much easier to just eat the exact same thing every day. The same plain thing with one ingredient because it's the easiest thing to track. It's kind of that mentality where they tell you to not ever do drugs, not even once, because then you'll be addicted. That was my mindset about food. Don't try the cookie, not even one, because then you'll be addicted and you won't be able to stop. So while I did lose weight during that time period when I was restricting and calorie counting in such an insane way, I was actually really, really unhealthy. That was when my digestive issues were the worst. That was when I was having some of the worst binges of my life on Fridays, just because that was the day I was allowed to binge. And of course it makes sense. It makes sense to me now. But the scary thing is that fast forward to the present, this week, while I've been calorie counting using MyFitnessPal, I've been seeing some of the same patterns emerge, just within a couple days of trying to calorie count. Today we went to a restaurant, me and my family, and things have been a little bit tense with my family this week, I'm not going to lie. But I was at the restaurant and I was thinking to myself, I don't want to get anything too fatty because I have to log it into MyFitnessPal later. I have to get something that MyFitnessPal would have in their database. Oh my gosh. I even was sitting there at the table and I had to put the menu down for a minute because I was like, what am I doing? Am I really going to get back into that mindset where all I can eat is boiled chicken breast and half a banana for lunch? I don't want to do that. I don't want to get to the point where I can't even enjoy going to a restaurant for fear, because there's always an underlying current of fear around food. And that goes back to what the intuitive eating people were saying. I don't want to fear eating. I don't want to fear my hunger. I don't want to fear my own body, that I might gain an ounce if I eat a cookie, because it's a holiday weekend. I just want, and I've said it over and over again, I just want to be a normal person when it comes to food. I just want to eat normally. I want to have normal hunger cues, normal fullness cues. I want to respect that fullness like the intuitive eating people say. I just want food to cease being my life. Is that too much to ask? Right now, yes, apparently it is, because right now it's either eat everything or eat absolutely nothing. And I have not found the happy middle place. But I do not think MyFitnessPal is good for me. And I dare say that it's probably not good for anybody who has an unhealthy relationship with food. So, today is my cutoff day for MyFitnessPal. I do not want to have that scary argument again. I just want... All those weeks ago when I made the Franken diet, I didn't really know what I was doing. I think that, I know MyFitnessPal works for a lot of people. I know that it's got tons and tons of really die-hard people who say, this is it. If you have struggled to lose weight, this is the thing. Calories in, calories out. CI/CO. That's all you have to worry about. There's no secret, there's no problem. You just do this and you will lose weight. And that is true. That is true. I lost weight back in my early 20s when I was doing that. But for me, it's not a viable lifestyle. It's not something I can do constantly for the rest of my life. And that's really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, and God, this is a buzzword, I'm looking for the lifestyle change, you guys. And that's just not MyFitnessPal. And you know what? I don't think it's Chronometer. I don't think it's LifeSum. I don't think it's a calorie counter. I am, terrifyingly enough, going to have to learn how to lose weight without obsessively logging what I eat. Not in a notebook, not in an app. I am not the kind of person who can monitor my eating in a healthful way that way. It always leads me to binge restrict. So we're gonna have to try something else, and I'm kind of out of things to try right now. Still on vacation. My dad has not come up with any new fad diet to try, so I'm sort of treading water today. But tomorrow I will not be using MyFitnessPal. Alright, good night, good luck. I will see you tomorrow.